You do the intro then.
Hey guys, I just had a McDonald's sweet tea and this is Bravo. We're black.
Yeah, keep going because you have the energy now. You have all that sugar.
Listen, I had a sweet tea and it's popping and it's on.
Look good.
And we're so excited to be here with you guys. Listen, we we've been through it. Today was a day.
Today was
Today
the,
was
we
definitely a
just
day.
first wanted to address. We know that we left off with Christina was supposed to be joining us today,
Yes.
and the audio and video wasn't up to par. So we will just have her on again because we just enjoy talking to her, and we'll enjoy it for ourselves. And we'll give you a better video and audio. And also, we want her to come back when we can fully like break down either Potomac
Mhm.
or Married to Medicine or like one of our faves. So we have something else in store for you today. It's a little shorter episode, but we wanted to just bring you in on something that we worked on and that we just got back from. So you are hearing this within like a 24-hour turnaround because we have a rock star producer. We just got back from a trip, and it's a lot of people will be like, "Oh, it's not even a trip. You went 30 minutes away from you, blah blah blah." No, like we got back from a trip because we treated it as a trip. As you
We
guys
did.
know, we have been a part of the, or if you don't know now, you know the rest. We have been a part of a program. It's called the Pops Creator Program, and this is a community of really cool people. Like the people that I've seen in this program are people that I've admired from afar for a long time. And it's basically a bunch of people who enjoy reality TV, whether it's The Bachelor, whether it is Bravo or something else in reality, just reality TV and pop culture experts. And we are called like the Pops program. So they are doing multiple things, I think in New York, LA, but the platform Threads, which is a better version of Twitter because Twitter has gone down the drain within
Mhm.
just the past year and a half alone. And even before that, it was just getting too much with like the fake profiles. So they created Threads, and Threads is kind of powered by Meta, which owns Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. It's a text-based app, and they've just added so many different features to it, and we get to be a part of really cool things. Like we get to know about features that they're rolling out. We get to give feedback and correlation to how people use it. So we get like, we don't get a beta version. We're not that far ahead, but we have the same version that you have. But when they're rolling out things like, for example, they just rolled out hashtags. So that's a huge thing. You guys can go and can search a hashtag now, and certain things should pop up, or you can use a hashtag and
Yeah.
it should pop up under something. And that's something that rolled out live while we were on our trip. But Threads wanted to sponsor like a little art Basel trip for us. And by little, I'm exaggerating. It was a big, huge, amazing art Basel trip. If you don't know what art Basel is, every single year in Miami, the artsy people get together, the musicy people get together, and the club people get together, and it's a good time. It's just like the joining of all the weirdos, but also the cool people, and also the geeks, and also the nerds, and it's just a really interesting mishmash of people. And there are always events around Art Basel, and then there's the main Art Basel itself, which contains the actual art. But you can come down here, and you don't have to go to the convention center. But we had tickets to the convention center. But there are just so many artsy places in Miami and the Wynwood area and South Beach in general that you can literally stay down there for days just exploring different galleries, different places to eat. It's every sense that you can name, there's something for it. Feel, touch, smell, taste, hear, all of it. So they wanted to sponsor that. So they actually sent us professional like cars, and they gave us art battle tickets, and then they took us through multiple experiences, and we got to meet a very special housewife. If you have not been keeping up on social media, Aaron, tell them who we got to spend time with.
We got to meet Gertie from Housewives of Miami. And when I say y'all, she is just so pleasant, so sweet, so beautiful. It's like everything you see on TV, but 10 times more vibrant in person. And her energy is just great. We had an amazing time. We laughed the whole time. We ate, we told jokes, we made content with her. Like, it was just the best possible thing. And
Yeah,
Kaya literally got to sit like right next to her
yeah. I tried to
for
play
our
it cool, but
brunch.
I kept like bumping into her arm, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, it's Gertie. I keep bumping
Wait,
into her
you
arm.
sat next to her twice. Like not once, but twice. Like at
Yeah,
both events.
and I was willing to fight for that spot, so I deserved it.
I was actually next to Kaya both times. So I was second closest to Gertie.
Exactly. And
Gibson was
that
on the other side.
our friend Gibson, I always call him Gibson Nova, but his name is Gibson Johns. He has Gavin with Gibbs, and he has a whole. He's he works for Yahoo. You guys know Gibson Nova. He was just on here. If you don't know, go back like what 3-4 episodes and go and listen to the Gibbs. Not even 3, maybe
One.
like
Yeah,
2.
like maybe one. I
One,
want to say
2,
one.
one. Gibson Nova was just on the podcast.
Yes.
So we'll tell you the funny story about that is that we obviously have our recording days that we record our podcast, and we tell our guests, okay, can you come on this day at this time? So we had Gibson scheduled for the day before this day. So yesterday, which would be Thursday for the Saturday pod. And we agreed to go to the Threads trip because who's going to turn it down? Because we're in this program. I'm really invested in it. Aaron has started to finally get into it because I don't know if you guys have been on Threads, but Aaron live threaded a bunch of Bravo content before we even went on this trip. So we had to like reschedule, but we didn't know who was going or what really to say because we didn't want to sound like shitty, like, oh, we're going 30 minutes away, so sorry, you have to come on another time. But of course, without even like getting into anything, Gibson was like, of course I understand, we'll just do it sooner. So you guys actually got to hear Gibson sooner. And then we figured it out because he's also in the Pops program that he was going to the trip too. So when we went to go and check in, we were like, Gibson. It was just such a fun time. And the thing about it is it was a very intimate group, which made it 10 times better than I thought it was going to be.
Very, because I'm an introvert. Kay is more of an extrovert, like I said. So I was under the impression that it was going to be like 20, 30 people. And I was like, oh God, like, go. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm excited for this event, but y'all know how I am around people. I'm like, I don't want to get nervous and stuff. But once we finally got to the event, we realized it was like, what was it? The first night, it was you, Gibson.
And then we met Alex and Sarah.
And Alice
are on like the meta team, but they're the ones who like planned everything. And then we met Kim, who is also working, but she's working specifically on like engagement and Threads and things like that. So it was literally Kim, Gibson, and us two, and we went out to dinner. So I guess we'll just start from the beginning. First of all, Aaron has a real 9 to 5. I'm trying to make this my 9 to 5 because I can't do the 9 to 5 anymore, guys. I've outgrown it. So I was just like, I can go at any time on any day, whenever. And Aaron is like, I can come after I fulfill my obligations at my real job. So I ended up going pretty early to the hotel, which was the Mondrian, and I've been there in a regular suite. but they hooked us up. When I say they hooked us up, I had a living room and a stove and a microwave
Yes.
and a refrigerator and a TV and an amazing view. I had a kitchen table. I didn't even have anyone to invite to the kitchen table, babes. Like I wanted to stay there forever. It felt like a studio apartment, but better because I wasn't paying for it. So the room, the bed was just so nice. The stylings of it was modern. There was an accent wall. The bathroom
Hmm.
had a waterfall shower, and it was just amazing. So the room at the Mondrian, they did the damn thing with that, and all three of us got suites. It wasn't just me, but mine was so nice that it was on the penthouse floor. So
It
I
was too nice. And as a matter of fact, guys, once I arrived after like 2 hours, because I'm all the way in Fort Lauderdale, and the event was all the way in Miami.
South Beach.
Um, so
And
once I
zero
arrived, I'm
traffic.
like, let me see this room. Let me check this room out. We had to wait till we got back to the event, but I'm like, yours is definitely different from mine because this is the penthouse floor. She says it's no different.
It
But
wasn't
when I
that.
walked in that hallway, the vibes were quite different. The
It
vibes were
smelled great.
different. The smell was different. Like I can't put my finger on it, but something about this was just different. And then going in the room, it was different. Like it was the same layout. Oh well, no, slightly different in the bedroom, but the living room and kitchen same layout. The bedroom something different.
The vibes were immaculate, I must say.
It was nice. And once Kaya went, she showed me her room, and I'm just like, I cannot believe this. Like, let me hurry up and get my stuff in. And I only had like 5 minutes to really check out my room to see how everything looked and to sit my stuff down. But man, I was like, wow.
After that, well, because they hooked us up with the car service. So,
Mhm.
I mean, I've had dudes send me a Uber Black, which that's fun. But when it feels different when you're on a trip, someone is sponsoring you and they send you a car service. So they really gave us the Real Housewives experience because you always know that they sent a car. I'm gonna call my car, my car, my car. I was saying that all weekend. It wasn't even the weekend. I was saying it yesterday and today and the day before. I gotta call my car. So Aaron will be right back. But I love the car service because what happens is like when you're ready to go, they will literally take you. And I don't know what they do when you're at your events. Like I don't know if they stay in the car and they play music or what they do, but I just felt like what are they doing right now. So they sent us cars to get to the hotel. The guy, there was like a nice handwritten note from Meta, Facebook, the people that put this together, Lila King, Michael Hoffman. I think that whole team really like put that together. But in the ride, it was like a little champagne, a Moet champagne bottle, and then there was also water. And then he asked me what music I wanted, and I'm like, oh, I love this. So it was like the same treatment to the first restaurant. And since it was only like us four people, instead of doing two cars, because there was a car for Gibson and there was a car for us, we were like, why don't we just take one car, get to know each other? So we were just chatting on the way to the first dinner. And the first dinner was at Kiki on the River. And if you guys don't know that restaurant, it's one of Drake's favorite restaurants when he comes down. They blast music, they have
I
special
see
drinks.
why.
It's literally on the river. It is a hot spot. It's hard to get into, especially during this time of year. Um, it, it's just a really fun time. They really set the vibe. And tell them about Kiki on the River. Like
They
what
really
we
set the vibe,
ordered, what we
guys. Like,
had.
listen, we had lamb chops, we had roasted chicken, lemon potatoes, asparagus, all these veggies, zucchini chips. Wasn't it zucchini? Yeah, it was
Yeah.
zucchini chips everywhere we went. And what was it? It was a pita and these four dips that they gave us too. Like everything was so good. from
It was,
start to finish. Just
and
delicious.
they have big ass teddy bears throughout the restaurant,
Yeah.
and it just sets the vibe.
Teddy bear theme. Kaya drunk out of bathtub. It's this little drink.
Everyone had like a nice,
Yeah.
pretty, like darling drink, and like I was like, does it come in a bathtub? And they're like, yeah, it comes in
Yeah.
a mini bathtub. So like I'm thinking that it's gonna be like a little petite Instagram worthy
No.
bathtub. That shit was like,
Like, yeah, like you have to hold that with two hands.
yeah.
And then I had the nerve to get this fish shaped cup. It was like a koi fish. And I had to hold that with, luckily, I have a big ass hand. So I'm like, I can hold that up, no problem. But it was still very heavy, but
The
very
drink
good
was really
drinks.
good too, and everyone I think got maybe like a second round, and I'm just still drinking out of my bathtub.
Yeah. No, I
So they're
was,
like, "Do you want another drink?" And I'm like, "If I drink anymore, I may pass away here. So I don't think that I can have another bathtub." And it was such a fun time. We did icebreakers. We chatted about the day ahead, and then we went on back to our rooms. And we just really, 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 really enjoyed the room, because when you get a nice room, you want to spend some time in it, and that's all I'll leave at
at
that.
that.
And the next day,
And no, because I want to go back to that day, guys.
oh, tell me.
So, Kaya, we take some food to go. Now I have a
Oh
lamb
my
chop.
God, you're really confronting me about this on the podcast when it was your fault, because
I had a lamb chop. I'm gonna tell the world, like people in Australia, people in Antarctica, listen. I had a lamb chop. And I was so excited, and I had a piece of chicken with it. Like, I was so excited to
it was
eat
cut
this.
too. A nice.
Shut up.
Oh, I thought we were talking.
What? Listen, once I got back to the room, I realized that I got Kaya's plate, and Kaya just had like one piece of chicken, and
it was one full piece of chicken though. It was a full chicken thigh.
and like, the lamb chop. It was a lamb chop bone. Like, it wasn't even until, like, I don't know why she put that in that plate. Like, when I say, and it was under the chicken, like it was hiding, and I'm just like, oh, like,
that's mine.
My lamb chop. Like, yeah. So I'm looking in it, and I go to the bottom. I said, no. Like, I screamed. I'm pretty sure everybody on that floor heard me. I was just like, what the hell is going on in my sheets and in my home? Like, it was just too much. But I'm happy that Kaya enjoyed it, because I did enjoy that piece of chicken. I sure did.
Who said that I ate the lamb chop? How you know I had the lamb chop? Maybe
we have proof. We have proof. We have proof.
No, yeah, I definitely like. I don't even know when he went to eat his leftovers, but it was a good like hour. I let it sit, and I was like, I don't know, because at that point I didn't even know that we had a microwave. I just know we had a refrigerator, so I'm like, okay, it's not gonna get spoiled, but I had to figure out the move once I get hungry. But I just got hungry when I was in bed, so I go and I'm like, there's a lamb chop here. Like, the gods have shown mercy on my soul. The gods have rewarded me with the best room and
a lamb chop. I'm just like,
and then on top of the lamb chop, you had like a little piece of chicken on the side.
Oh.
So I'm like, I am a king. Like, I am a king today.
Royalty.
So I ate it, and it was just the juiciest, tenderest,
I know, it was so good,
most seasonedest.
Stop talking about it, because it was just so, like, y'all, when I say this lamb chop was good as hell, like,
when I say that, like, there was no meat left on the bone, there wasn't even like any seasoning left on the bone. And then I was like, that's so good. Let me go on to my piece of chicken. And then I ate the chicken too. So I had chicken and lamb chop. It was just
guys. I thought I made a good lamb chop, but honestly, fuck me. That lamb chop was way better. Way better than anything I've ever made. And I'll just keep it real. I can't even lie to you.
Yeah.
That's why it was so special, because I'm like, damn, this shit is seasoned. Like, they put Sass by Quad on it. I'm 100% sure. They put McCormick. They put like more ends. They put everything on that one piece, like a
Goya,
sprinkle of everything. Goya, Badia,
give it
like
everything you got.
everything.
Yeah.
Ah,
Is there anything else that I did that you want to confirm for that day?
no, not for that day.
Okay.
I'm just kidding, guys. Like, aside from that, that for that day.
No,
But
because I
then,
literally sent him a picture of me eating his lamb chop,
yeah.
and that's why we have proof. Because I was like, "Damn, you fucked up." I bet you mad too.
And
But
I also
so
sent her a video of me eating her chicken.
we just sent
So
like ASMR videos.
it was you guys don't like, if you've seen that, you would probably unfollow us. Because it gets real, okay? We don't care.
We
We have
gets
no
down. We
filter.
don't play.
We was in Miami.
Exactly. Like we were showing out. So the next day we had a great call time, which what I'll call it is that we didn't have to be ready until 12:30 because lunch, because we spent the day with Gertie, lunch
Mm-hmm.
was from 1 to 3. So we leave 12:30. Traffic's fun. Traffic's fine. We get to the restaurant, the Mandolin. This is a newer hotspot. I've heard about it, but I've never been, and I didn't know that it was Mediterranean either. So it was like a lighter fare, and I'm like, oh my god, this is such housewives vibes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was like outside. Even the way that it was structured was just like really, really nice. So we got there early, of course, and we're just like waiting, like, oh my god, Gertie is coming, and we just didn't know what to expect because you never know how people are going to be in person. We sit
Yeah.
down. She comes and she greets everyone. She asks everyone's name. She asks where we're from. She asks how we're doing. She asks where we grew up. Like she knows more about me than I ever told anyone. I told her my deepest secrets probably because she was just so easy to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, she spilled tea. And she spilled a lot of it. And she was like, yeah, you can go on record. She talked about a certain housewife that uninvited her from an event, even though she RSVP'd first because of a feud that she has with another Miami housewife. And if you can put context clues together, you know exactly who I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about. And she told us about how, because she had just did Watch What Happens Live with Dorit, and you know, usually first chair goes to the OGs. If you notice, Watch What Happens Live, first chair went to Gertie because Miami is sizzling, Miami is spicy, Miami is the one to watch. And
Hot.
that's why we were so proud to be there because not only are we here to talk about housewives, but we're here to like rep Miami. So it was just good to get Miami tea. She told us how long the season was going to be. Certain
Mm-hmm.
alliances have formed, we'll say. She also like the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion looks dropped, and Aaron had the great idea to get a video. And what was the video about?
The video was her giving her thoughts on the Salt Lake City reunion looks. And I want to say, who did she gave it to Heather.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say
Gave it to Heather. She also liked Monica's and she liked Meredith's. So those were the 3
Mhm.
that she was like they ate.
Okay.
And you can go on Threads exclusive, go and see what she said about the others or what else she said. Because she went through, she didn't name them by name, but she like looked at the screen and she was like this.
So
And
guys, go on Threads
Mhm.
at Bravo While Black.
One more again.
Scroll down at Bravo While Black. Scroll down and you will see all the content that we made with Gertie. And
Right. And she also
post.
made like Gibson had the most genius idea for like content because she was talking about how she needed more content. How she does her own social media. So when you see those gorgeous pictures of her, You know how people have teams, mainly all the housewives have teams of and droves of people who work on their photos. She does her own photos. I was sitting next to her at dinner and she was editing her own photo. And I'm like, I get to watch her work because she does her own makeup. Like she's
Mm-hmm.
multi hyphenated and she's obviously a very successful woman. You know, she's an event planner, a party planner, a mother, a cancer survivor, and she was very open and honest and raw about her feelings. When she got her diagnosis, who was there for her, how things play out on TV versus what happens in person. It was just a lot of behind the scenes tea that we're telling you about right now. And
Yeah.
she is very close to Kiki, which you will see if you go on our threads that we didn't even know that Kiki was coming to dinner, but she showed up to dinner, which we'll tell you about later. So yeah, we made content. Gibson had a great video idea. When she posted, we'll post it. She tagged us. She gave us our credit. She, talked about the Pops program. She was threading. She was saying, "Oh my God, all these people are following me. They're interacting, and it's because you're Gertie. Like you're queen. Like everyone is rooting for you right now. Like it's not just because you have cancer, it's the way that you are kicking cancer's ass. And that she did. And she does her own I already mentioned it, but she does her own makeup. Like it's just it was just so surreal being there. But I had the idea of I asked Aaron and Aaron was like, yeah, that's a great idea. And he helped me out with this. I brought my little, a few years ago when the pictures, I mean, the cameras that print the photos got repopularized. Not the Polaroids, but like the Fujifilm point and shoot cameras. So I made my mom buy me one of those. Like, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago when they first started popping again. And then I let it sit there for a while, and a while meaning a few years. So I used it earlier this year when I went to brunch with my other bestie. We went to a brunch at this place called the House on the River, not Kiki on the River. The House on the River is in Fort Lauderdale, and it's literally a house, and each room there's a different theme. So I brought it then, and I'm like, oh my God, it's perfect for when you want something in your hand. And I'm noticing that especially with Apple, I'm not liking the fact that like I have to keep buying storage. And I'm like, what am I gonna do with all these pictures? And when they delete pictures sometimes, and I'm like, this is the only picture that I have. So I'm going to start ordering like photo books, but I'll probably tell you about that another time. But I brought the Fujifilm. I took pictures of everyone there. So Alex, Sarah, Kim, Gibson, Aaron, and even Gertie. And Gertie loved it. She's like, oh my God, that's so, unique. And I was like, yeah, I'm taking the picture now, but you won't get it until later because I want to take pictures at dinner so you can just take them in person with you. And I think Aaron has a video of the photos if it's not on my other like content phone.
Yes, yes,
But
yes.
yeah, we'll share that too. So I took pictures in person. She took pictures with us. And she even agreed to come on the podcast. So I don't know how soon it will be, but she will be coming on the podcast. So that is exciting, exciting news. And Real Housewives of Miami is hot, and she says it's just begun. She says that if you think that Rinna was bad, wait until you see the rest of the season of Real Housewives of Miami.
And I believe her.
So we have to see how this plays out. We cannot wait. So then she's like, okay, we'll meet again at dinner because it was like the day with her, but we have to go. And we went and I got glammed up. Aaron was supposed to get glammed. It just did not work out for him. Like he got glammed, but it just wasn't
Anyways, yeah.
like he just, it just wasn't his cup of tea. Simple as that.
Beautiful gowns.
Beautiful gowns. And then
Beautiful.
my glam, I liked my glam like a lot. I'm obviously gonna post photos of it. So we changed outfits because of course we're fashion girlies. we really care about how we look and being able to change our fashions in general. So we changed because it was Art Basel, it was giving that, and we got ready for dinner instead of going to Art Basel because I needed to take a break. I just needed a breather. And Art Basel was literally all weekend. This was like pre-Basel. Things don't really get popping on the art scene until the weekend. And that's when everyone that comes out, that's when the DJs come out, that's when the performers come out and things like that. So we went to another hot spot, hard to get in, owned by Dave Gretman and Pharrell. We went to Swan, Miami, and Swan was it, honey. Like, it's like a club and a restaurant combined. All the celebrities are spotted there. They're really strict on dress code. Gibson was almost not even able to get in, but he did something that was so chic, and he went and he changed his clothes like really quick. And I didn't even know that that was happening. But while we were waiting at the bar, I'm like, this looks like Kiki, but we didn't see Gertie at first. So I didn't want to just go up to Kiki because I knew that we were going to see Gertie. So we just wait. And then Gertie's like, did you see Kiki? Did you say hi to Kiki? And I'm like, it is Kiki. Because it was just like the music was blasting. It was very much Miami Vice vibes. And so she introduced us to Kiki, and Kiki is like supermodel, skinny, like not Ozempic skinny, like real model, born for this skinny, cheekbones, fashion, like a chic outfit because the weather was really, really nice for once. The weather was out of this world. And so she said hi. We got sat at our table. Everyone came to the table, and then we had more food. Tell them what we had at Swan.
So Swan, I remember zucchini chips. I remember caviar.
We had potato chips and caviar.
Yes, potato chips and caviar. I do remember. Isn't that the place? Did they have? No, the other place had the meatballs. They had steak.
Yep.
And
they had this airy bread with everything bagels.
Yes, that was my favorite.
Cloud bread.
That was the favorite. That was the top. That was the one.
Insane, you guys. If you've never tried this bread before, I don't care if you've never eaten a carb in your life, risk it.
Yeah,
I don't care if you can't digest carbs. Digest it. Figure it out. Because of that, you have to have that bread. It's so good. Oh my God. There's fish. There were truffle fries again, because we had truffle fries at the other restaurant. And each place we had zucchini chips and dip. And I want to know, where do you think had the best zucchini chips? And Gertie, that's a favorite.
The last one.
Swan.
The last one was definitely good. It's a tie between that one and the second one. Yeah. A tie between the second place and the third, for sure.
Yeah, because it just got better. I don't know if like we were on like a zucchini chip tour, because I've never even ordered zucchini chips. I'm just like, get this away from me. Give me my mozzarella sticks and like. But
now my thoughts are very different towards them. I will. Maybe I will.
Like I'm an adult.
Even the Brussels sprouts that they had. They also had these Brussels sprouts that were pretty good. Like,
yeah, I thought it was meat though, and when it wasn't,
I gotta say, I thought it was mushrooms because of how, and you know how I am about mushrooms. Like, I love me a good mushroom. Like, period.
Insane. The food was good. The vibes were even better. That's where she talked. It was more of an intimate vibe. She was talking about Kiki and how her and Kiki got dressed at the Mondrian, at the hotel that we were staying at, and she had one of the suites that we had, but probably like even a better one. But she did her makeup there, and they were just chilling. So we were just surprised to see Kiki and Gertie there. So it just felt like a Real Housewives of Miami scene, like one of those filler scenes where maybe like they were recording Kiki and Gertie and we would be in the background. That's how it felt. Like I was putting myself in my main character era, which I feel like that's every day, but you know, it was just really like different this time. And it was just being around such genius people, such nice people, fashionable people, creative people, people who are on the same wavelength as us, you know. We just really appreciate the entire experience. And then after that, we did a TikTok. And then after that, I wasn't feeling too good because I was, standing and then just going from place to place. And then I think it was really the weather, because when the weather acts up, that's
Yeah.
when my pickle tail acts up. So the weather dropped. So I felt it like in my bones. So I started to get a little bit achy, but it wasn't bad. So I was able to push through dinner, especially to show off my look. And then I was like, thank you so much. They were like, thank you so much. And like, we just talked about Threads, and the platform is growing. If you're not on it, or if you never got into Twitter, it's like Twitter in which you can express yourself, but it's not as toxic. It's not as,
Way more positive, way more
yeah,
interactive.
way
A
more.
lot of people post with actual intention and not just
Mhm.
like, I mean, you do have people that post for fun and to say things, but it's not to spread negativity and all that toxic stuff. So
Yeah, and even if you don't want to post, if you just want to lurk,
yeah,
it's a good place to lurk too. I'm finding out breaking news via Threads. More people, more artists, more companies are posting on Threads. So like Jessel Tank said, it's up and coming,
it
and it's there.
is. And I do like that. Like, if you're looking for an outlet that doesn't have as many pictures, because on Instagram that's all you see: pictures, media, videos. This is a space where you can write. You can write a story. You could write a paragraph. You could write maybe a mini novel, not too
You
long,
could write a haiku,
but yeah, a haiku. You can add gifs. You can add media,
voice notes.
hashtags now. Like, they have so many cool things that they're working on, polls. Like, this is it, guys. It's
It's
it's it's it's the new age. It's the new wave. It's the new way. Check out Threads.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah. So we ended up going back. Well, I ended up going back, and then I automatically take Aaron with me wherever I go. So we both ended up going back to the hotel in the
Yeah.
car, but we busted a mission to CVS first just to get some snacky snacks. And then we went back to the hotel. It was just a fun, like, best friend. Are we really in this? We just went to BravoCon and now we get to do this. Look at us. Thank you, God. We're so blessed. Surreal kind of moment. And it was just like, this is how you do 48 hours in Miami. Boom, boom,
Oh
boom,
yeah.
boom, boom. Picture, video, content, laughs, zucchini chips,
Club.
club,
Another club.
another club, plane,
Another club.
bus, another club, all of that. Where is Gaga when you need?
Yeah.
I always need her. We're gonna post that because that's exactly what it was. And then this morning we woke up and we're like, whoa, checkout is at 11. We said bye.
That's how I felt, because I'm like, yeah, I gotta get up, guys, and that's.
And went back home to Broward County.
Mm. It was a nice trip. It was a very nice trip. I feel so refreshed. Well, I want to say I need time to recover, because I didn't have
I need
that
time
much
to
sleep.
recover, but I also feel like the blues, because
Yeah.
what do I look forward to after this? Because I
Hmm.
was not expecting this. This came into fruition within 2 weeks, and we didn't know what to expect. And not only did it exceed our expectations, but it spoiled us. So I need to find something else to do to look forward to, because now it's just like, can we do another trip like once a month? Like, can we do something equal to this? Because this was
Once
just
a week.
amazing. Yeah, I needed it. And I'm like, okay, so if this is what content creator life can be, I don't mind moving slow and steady because it wins the race. But we just want you guys to continue supporting us. Please continue sharing our memes, our posts, our podcast, everything that we do, because the only reason that we're here is because of you and your support. So we really thank you for all that you do and how you show up for us. and how we're able to show up back for you. And you DM us, you interact with us, and we try to interact as much as possible with you. Sometimes stuff gets lost in the DMs, and because we have so many people DMing us and stuff like that, but we just reached 35K on the Instagram page. You know, like us on Threads, we're at 7K already on Threads, and it just came out a few months ago. So it's really popping. Watch these shows with us. It's not just Bravo, it's other shows too. Watch these shows, enjoy these things, and it doesn't even have to be shows. Go and tell us about your day. Answer our pot stirs. Aaron, think what's pot stir for them. Answer our pot stirs on.
Oh, I got one. Since I told you to go on Threads and since you listen, what is your favorite feature on Threads? Yeah, are you a hashtag girly? Are you a poll girly? Are you
keyword girly?
A keyword? Are you more of a GIF type of person? Because I am a GIF type of person, specifically the Miss Juicy Baby GIF. Like any Miss Juicy Baby, any flavor of love GIF, that's me. That's always me. If you ever see it, it's me. 10 out of 10 times, it's me.
Always, Aaron. You know when you're talking to us. Are you a voice notes girly? Because we also had Gertie respond in voice notes. We took some questions from you guys. We didn't want to overwhelm her, but she was just so nice about answering those. She was open and honest about it, and the real open and honest, not the other kind of open and honest. But yeah, okay, guys, we just wanted to hop on here. It really wasn't a short conversation like we thought it was going to be. We didn't realize until we sat down how much we did. So that's what we did. Follow along on stories and on Threads, and we'll meet you back here on Wednesday for the pop culture episode. We love you so much and have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye, y'all.